Everyone's heard of JEPI, the king of income ETFs, but a new contender, BIGY, is making serious noise with its massive yield. The question is, can it really compete or even outperform JEPI? Let's find out. Welcome back to Simply Money. In today's video, we're breaking down JEPI versus BIGY, two popular income ETFs with very different strategies. We'll compare yield, performance, risk, and real-time income potential based on a $50,000 back test. Whether you're building a retirement portfolio or chasing a consistent cash flow, this comparison will show which one actually gives you more money in your pocket, not just on paper. Let's dive into the spreadsheet and see what we got going on here today. Like I said, we're going to be talking about JEPI versus BIGY. We can only go back to December of 2024 because BIGY is so new. JEPI does have a much longer track record, so you have to give a point for it on that. And we could look back further on that to see its performance and see how it's fared compared to this last year. But we're going to compare from December 2nd, 2024 until October of 2025, just to keep it in the same time frame with these two ETFs. Let's begin with JEPI. We can see at this time frame of December, a price of $60.30. With our $50,000, that gets us 829 shares. The dividend was 40 cents. The first dividend gives us a dividend payment of $331. Which we buy 5.5 more shares. Again, in this first scenario, for those who haven't watched this channel before, what I do is in the first scenario, we do full drip. So everything we're getting, we're buying more of the same shares to see how it helps us in accumulation. And then we'll do a second scenario where we're showing where you take out the distribution and you use that money to spend to see how they fare. If you're using it for income, you have to look at that. You can't just look at it when you're reinvesting, because if you need it for income, you have to see how it plays out in those scenarios. Let's just scan down here. The spreadsheet is available. You can see the description down below. To get all my Google Sheets, they're available for you there if you enjoy playing around with the numbers. And I'm working on some more. I'll continue to update them when they come out. Okay, so JEPI, the price we can see over this last year here has been declining somewhat. It's gone from $60.30 down to $56.91. That's a negative 5.62% drop. Our shares, because we've been buying more shares, we've gone from 829 up to 889. So that's a good sign there. We're gaining more shares. And the dividend payment has been pretty consistent. 40 cents, had a 33, 49, 54. So it's not too bad, but it has been dropping of recent here over these last few months. And again, this is a monthly paying dividend. The shares, and I apologize if I sound a little nasally, just dealing with a little sinus congestion here. The nice fall weather transitioning on us. So bringing us over here to the balance, the $50,000 has fluctuated up and down a little bit, but at the end of this 10-month period, 11-month period here, we're $928 in the green. So again, this is a very short time frame. You can be up $9,000 in this time frame, and you can be down $9,000 in this time frame. This is a short window, so it's very difficult when you're looking at these. Please take that into consideration. This is a very short window that we're looking at, but it is what we have to work on with BIGY. You can wait 5 years before you buy into something to see if it has a track record, and that's fine. That's what a lot of people need to do, that to be sure. But for those who are willing to go ahead and buy into some of these newer funds, it's nice to be able to compare it to existing funds or other funds and see how they compare. Over this few months, you've gained $928. Slide over here to BIGY. We have the share price starting at 50.87. It's up to 52.56 here. It did drop a little bit down here, about $45, but it's rebounded rather nicely, which is a good sign when you have a high paying yield dividend and you can get that NAV to grow. That's always a nice sign that the underlying is doing well. With the $50,000, we're able to buy 982 shares. There is no distribution on this first month. We didn't add any shares. We go down here, you can see we've added new shares, about a half a share per month from the payments. The dividend payments have been about The dividend payments have been about $500 very consistently because these dividends have been very consistent. Look at that. 53 cents is the high, the most recent, and the lowest was 46 cents. So it's ranged from 46 to 53 cents over this time frame. Adding new shares each time, we're adding about 10 new shares per month. And so that brings our total by the end of this time frame, we brought the total up to 1,087 shares. The share price, like I said, has gone from $50.87 up to $52.56. That's a 3.32% increase. That's a nice little growth there in that time frame. And our balance from the $50,000 has gone up to $57,000. In this time frame, reinvesting all dividends with JEPI and BIGY, you can see that BIGY has outperformed by about $6,200 on JEPI. So if you had put $50,000 in both of them, your BIGY account would be up $6,200 more dollars than your JEPI account. That's with full reinvestment of your distributions. The drip is on. Let's look over here. What we're doing here is we're doing a no drip. On both of these, they pay a dividend on a monthly basis. So we're taking whatever distribution they provide and we're using that. We're not buying more of JEPI or more of BIGY. You might use those to buy other funds. You might use them to buy a position in something else, or you use it for your income for expenses. The point of this is you're not buying more of the same fund to show the impact it has by taking the income out. We can start out and see JEPI's $333 first dividend. There's no dividend here. So I want you to keep that in mind too. There's a zero here, which will be holding BIGY back a little bit. For this first month, JEPI, obviously, you did $333 better. The second month, though, you have a $327 dividend, but you've dropped $2,000 on your balance in JEPI, where you get a $500 dividend from BIGY, and you've only dropped to $49,332 here. That gives BIGY a $1,500 advantage. You can see that it's bounced back and forth a little bit here early on, but over the last few months, BIGY has really taken off and overtaken JEPI. Let's go to the kind of end here of these comparisons. JEPI's total dividend over these months would pay you $3,626. The share price and your value, your portfolio is down 5.62%. So you've taken out $3,600, but you've lost $3,000 in your value here. You're not doing really great in that sense. Again, this is short time frame. Don't take this as JEPI's a horrible fund. If you looked over long term, you would see that this holds much better. But in this time frame we are looking at, and BIGY seems to be doing much better. With BIGY, you've received more income. You've received $4,881 here. You've received $1,260 more in this time frame, so about $100, give or take, a month more. And your end balance is actually up $1,600 here. Overall, for the entire time of this scenario, BIGY is up $5,726, because if you take the amount that you have in your balance of the two, BIGY is up, and then you also add in how much BIGY is up on how much extra it paid you, you've earned $5,726 more in this time frame. If you're using just this window, this small time frame, I'm looking at this and saying, I like this because my value is maintaining or increasing, and I'm getting a slightly higher dividend. I like that. If you look here, JEPI started at $333. It did get down to $270, but it's back down to $299 here. With BIGY, it did drop a little bit to $450, $453, but now it's back up higher than it was before to $520. On this, again, this is not financial advice. This is for informational, educational purposes only. Do your own due diligence. Make your own decisions. It's your money. Personal finances are personal. But on this JEPI versus BIGY, what are your thoughts? Leave me a comment below. Do you like them both? A little balance of each? Do you like BIGY better? Are you going to stick with the old and faithful JEPI? Leave comments down below. Let's see what the community thinks. Let's get some feedback from everybody. I appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you next time on Simply Money.